Yeah. Bad for the bad little bitches in the city and it's all on me. Time no time when the love so blind that you're all I can see. Know the night won't be the same if you don't leave with me. Ass up, head down, every time you dress down, no, I like it. 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 Good ass girl in the badass city, got the itty bitty titty, but the ass come with it. Got you hoping that a flash come with it. Looking single in the club, but you hoping that a man don't get it. And she pulling up late night, no teeth, play fight, big jaw, gray white, fuck to the daylight, put her to sleep, cause I don't need no Xan. If she fucking with me, then she gon' need both hands, yeah. Big penthouse, spend another 10,000, nothing getting raked out, money getting sent out. Good brain, good head, get the sense out. Then I make it rain in the bed, pull a tent out. She likes the way I put shit down, and I likes the way I ain't gotta call her whenever I'm in town, but she know when to pull up on the block, throw the hood up. The Bucktown boy, wood grain with the foot up. Call me when you need somebody to work on that body the way that it should've. Yeah, I pull up AM, scotch color gray bands, whole room darker than Ray-Bans, and I'm sitting on that ass like spray tan. I would get it poppin' with you or your 8 friends, but look, I like it. 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 I like it.
Yo. What's good, y'all? We starting a little early today. A lot of stuff going on. Big Mike, co-host, he has a lot going on, especially with his kids, so we're going to start a little early. I'm going to give him a second to get in here. But pretty much today, we're going to talk football like we always do. We're going to spend a little bit of time going through the recent rankings. We're going to speak a little bit about, we'll go a little deeper into what it might look like if we take on an NFL structure in semi-pro. I've been told that there's a league in Georgia, Florida, I believe it was, that already has a similar system. I'm actually going to see if I can look that up real quick. Elite American Football League. And then we'll talk a little bit about this league as well. I think he said something like over 40 teams in this league. They run a similar playoff system as the NFL, and we're gonna take a quick look at that. We're gonna talk a little bit about the retirement of one of the greatest players that I've ever had the chance to spend some time playing with, and then we'll wrap up the show, man. Listen, I appreciate everybody for coming out. I absolutely promise you this is going to be a quick show. So if you feel like we didn't spend enough time on something to talk about something, let me know in the comment section. We're definitely going to revisit it. But look, we're going to give Big Mike a few seconds. I know he still has to get in here. And then we'll start talking football. But hey, if you're watching this, go check out the Three Bleezies show. Gotta go check out the Three Bleezies on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Those are my guys. I was on the show last night, went down to the Bleezy Mansion. It was extremely fun. You know what I'm saying? The guys had me rolling. I was cracking up. I was dying laughing. It's always a good time anytime that I see Honcho, you know, the Big Bleez, anytime that I see Chris Ramsey, go to Facebook. You know what I'm saying? The Three Bleezies, Bleezy Entertainment. They go live every Thursday. It's a ton of funny stuff going on in here. You know, dude's got plenty of jokes. You know what I'm saying? So definitely stop by there. Visit the Three Bleezies. But let's get started. You know, Big Mike is in the building. So Big Mike, we already, you know, kind of went through the introduction. Let the people know that, you know, it's going to be a quick show tonight. We're going to run through the rankings. We're going to run through the 32-team league. It's actually a league in Georgia, Florida. I think it's Georgia, Florida that's already doing what we're talking about. We're going to take a look at, you know, what they got going on. We're going to talk a little bit about the retirement of one of the greatest players I've had the chance to play with. and then we're going to talk about, our IFA championship game, and we're going to get through it as quick as possible. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. As always, let's chop it up. We're going to talk about the 32 team league, you know what I'm saying? And first thing that I want to do is just revisit the recent rankings that came out week 8. I'm saying, Big Mike, let's take a look at this real quick.
Mhm.
A lot of movement in the top 14, top 17, sorry.
There you go.
But a lot of movement in the top 14, a lot of movement in the top teams, the biggest, baddest teams. Not a lot of movement in the bottom 17. And for me, that was kind of interesting. You know, what do you think? What do you think is kind of the root cause of that as we get here later in the season?
The team's not moving.
Yeah.
Competition, who they're playing, not winning their games, to factor in a lot of stuff. I mean, I know you've been getting a lot of slack for the rankings, but I mean, you're also the only one doing it. So
I keep putting that out there. They asked me, a couple questions last night on the Bleezy show, and I told them like I do this for, the families, for the fans, for the friends, for the girlfriends that come to the games and don't really know what's going on. They don't have time to look into it. They're not a part of the culture like we are. They made fun of me because I said somebody's girlfriend or something. They was like, "Oh, you gonna come for your girlfriend?" But the truth is, like, my girl be in the stands and she has no idea what's going on. She's like, "Is this team good?" Like, I could tell by the way they play, but are they actually good? Like, are they ranked high? And that's what this is for. It's for the fans. So I appreciate that.
I
Um,
especially, since I joined with the Falcons this year, I'm new to a lot of these teams. So even my family, the past couple of games were like, we're playing the Warhawks, and they're like, "Hey, is this team good?" And I'm like, I don't fucking know.
yeah, all you got to do is look at the rankings, and you'll find out pretty quick. For me, the top, 17 teams having so much movement was kind of crazy to me, and I really think the reason is just because we are getting to that stage, like we're at the end now, and it's starting to become a lot easier to differentiate which leagues are more competitive from the others. It's getting easier to see, which teams are better than others because a lot more games have been played up to this point. The IFA is closing with its championship game, so the teams, it's only 2 teams. Their record is what their record is. It's locked in at this point. You know what I'm saying? But then the NEAFL is getting to its end. The TFL is getting to its end, and we saw the Bengals go from a team that everybody was writing off to they're probably the second best team right now. I even pegged them to go to the championship with the Eagles because I think they can get over the green wave hump, and I think they can, beat the Ducks if they get matched up with them again. Which we're gonna see this weekend. We're gonna see the Bengals go against the Ducks this weekend. So that's a pretty cool head to head. But what shocked me, and I don't know if you've seen it, what shocked me is that the Wolfpack are in the top 17. A team that, didn't have too many players they first game, and everybody was like, haha, the Wolfpack. They got a couple like serious wins in this past weekend. I think they put up over 30 points on the Ducks, or not the Ducks, I'm sorry, the Dolphins. Let me just double check that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the Ducks that they beat. Was it? I'm on the wrong week. Empire State Wolfpack, 38-6 against the Dolphins. Yeah, they put the Dolphins away. So,
30.
they put big points on a team that's not that good, but they put bigger points than some of the better teams did on them. So kind of crazy. They have worked their way into the top team. So
Yeah, because the Dolphins, I know, were known more for their defense than their offense.
yeah, that kind of flipped gears as the season went on. But all right, we just wanted to touch on that real quick. One last thing that I will say is that the Tri County Owls, I told everybody like they're the dark horse. They're my favorite team in the den. I always love picking a team that doesn't seem like they're gonna make it in the NFL. My team is the Atlanta Falcons. Don't talk about it. It'll always be 28-0 for me. But yeah, the Owls are one of the top teams. You cannot sleep on them. The Hitmen have finally like shown that they're that team. You know what I'm saying? And then the ECFL has 2 undefeated teams that's going to see each other this week. The Cardinals and the Black Panthers see each other. So the Black Panthers aren't safe. You know what I'm saying? They're not safe at 4-0. They got to go out and secure this win. And the Cardinals, they need it just as bad. So I just wanted to touch on that before we move on. So we're going to dive a little deeper into this, NFL-like system, and we're going to really talk about it. So I came up with this, you know what I'm saying? I didn't put the conferences on it, but like we're both Falcons. Let's just quickly touch on, the National Football Conference. You know what I'm saying? I kind of divvied up the teams the way that, works best for minor league football. And that's to take the teams that are closest to each other, relatively, and as close as possible in talent level and put them in a division. They're like-minded organizations who would travel to each other and be willing to play each other multiple times a year. And so, the Falcons are in what I would consider to be the NFC East, right?
Yeah.
And you got the Mount Vernon Bengals and the Panthers and the Bruins, and then the Cardinals and Warhawks, the Chargers and Badgers are in the NFC North. The Tide, the Wilmington Wolfpack, which is in New Jersey, the Delaware Fire, and Atlantic City Kings, which is also in New Jersey, are in the NFC South. And then the Central Penn Hitmen, Philadelphia Soldiers, Mid-Penn Knights, and Syracuse Smasher in the NFC West. You know what I'm saying? It's not perfect because some teams are in the same area. But it's as good as it could get for having games that are, relatively close to each other. And with that structure, it makes it easy to secure at least 6 games a year. You know what I'm saying? Because you could at least have 4 teams play 6 games against each other. You know what I'm saying? Every single year, and they're relatively close to each other. And, travel wouldn't be such an issue. And you probably see a lot less forfeits, for these particular games. So went with that system. But this week, I actually put the rankings of each team from my rankings next to each team to kind of show you what it would look like. You know what I'm saying? The balance of power. And I think this is pretty damn cool when you look at it this way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, Mike. Like, what do you see? What stands out to you? Because for me, what stands out to me is that AFC conference. You know what I'm saying? Like the Eagles conference having number 2 and number 9. That's kind of crazy. And then the Knowles having 1, 6, and 7.
Yeah. Militia.
And the Cobras having 5, 10, 14, and 18. That's crazy. You got like 3 of the best teams not making the playoffs if that's the situation. You know what I'm saying? That's tough.
I mean, I think, and I know this is just a concept.
Hypothetical, yeah.
It's a hypothetical concept. So, some people probably be like, nah, this will never work. And also, but like, I think perfect thing to do for a semi-pro, just on the aspect of, look at the NFL, look at how diverse it is, and look how, like 2 years ago, the NFC East was the worst division in the league. Now, now you got the Giants looking like they're, possibly gonna. I'm a Giants fan, so I'm a little biased, but a diehard, realistic Giants fan, where I understand that, we are far from dominant.
Yeah.
The Eagles have that division, and unfortunately, the Cowboys are probably the second best team in that division, with the Giants being third and the Redskins being fourth. But good year from the Redskins and the Giants last year, and almost all 4 teams made the playoffs.
Facts.
So, the Redskins screwed it up. And I actually was rooting, and I never root for the NFC East other than the Giants. I was actually rooting for the Commanders to make it. And because I wanted to see if that would be the first time that a division would actually make it to playoffs. I don't think it's ever happened in the NFL. So I thought that'd been pretty cool.
Facts. The Commanders. Todd is right. Commanders. You're going to get us canceled.
They will always be the Redskins to me. So I'll just, don't cancel me, but you are correct. They are the Commanders. But
I said that too. Let's take a quick look, because it's funny that you say that. A lot of people say that this won't work in semi-pro, and I actually got a comment. Somebody reached out to me and let me know this is actually happening already. So let's quickly take a look at this league that's already doing this. It's down in the South. I believe it's mostly Georgia and Florida, but it's called the Elite American Football League. This is their website. As you can see at the top already, you got some games where the South Wolverines against the Capos 75-0 in the Elite South Conference. But then you also got in the same conference the Jaguars versus the Southwest Jags 14-19. You got some good games going on here. They got teams in DC. I don't know where SWF is, but I'm pretty sure we could look into this and get more information. This was just recently come up across me. I was told there's over 40 teams in this league. You see all the logos here of all the teams. This is from Saturday, May 13th. So they're playing the same time that we playing. The Sharks, Wolverines, you got all these games. And then here is the championship bracket. And they got a bracket that looks very much like the NFL. They got two sides, the North and the South. They got a conference championship with the semifinals. They got the divisional championships with the quarterfinals, and then they got the play-in round, which is basically the wild card. All the teams are ranked against each other. Like, this is really cool. The game is at Glenn County Stadium. I'm from Georgia. That is a beautiful stadium. It is a great place to play. I would love to play there. They got the games on YouTube, so this is dope. Look, Northeast Georgia, Georgia Cobras, Duval, which is in Florida. Then you got Gainesville, which is in Florida. You got the Peach State, Lake County Storm. A lot of teams here, man. Jacksonville, Northeast Owls with the U logo looking. And then in the South, I guess it gets even deeper. You got Miami down here. You got Orlando, South Florida, Tampa. This is pretty cool. And then look, just like the IFA had, against the TFL, you got Georgia versus Florida. Florida Elite, Georgia Elite. I guess that's the All-Star game. And then you got some independent teams down here. 4 independent teams. That's pretty damn cool, man.
It could work. It 100% can work. It just, the team owners, commissioners will have to work together to get that to be something that we can do. But that system works. I mean, it's been working in the NFL for years, and the AFL before they merged. It works for just conferences in college. I mean, it could work.
I definitely think it could work, man. And the crazy thing is, it's already being done. And we had the interview with Matt Wells, and we talked about basically like a professional league being done in the US, starting down in Florida, you know what I'm saying? And potentially working its way up the coast. So if you take these types of leagues, which I'm pretty sure 40 different teams definitely could be broken down, you know what I'm saying? And to maybe 20 or 30 teams, especially if you just playing in the Georgia, Florida area. But then you can work that way up, and then you can have different levels to this. You know what I'm saying? You can have, what's like your USFL league, where there's just one big super all-star team for Georgia and one big super all-star team for Florida, and you can work that way all the way up the coast. There's definitely a way to market this.
Yeah. Listen, there's the one thing that we can all say about the United States of America is we love our football. Like, I know football is big down south. Like, obviously, anyone in the United States, we all know South is the place to go when it comes to football. But it doesn't mean that the people in the North don't know how to play and or aren't passionate about it. It's just we have a cold, unfortunately, we have a cold front that comes in that stops us from all going outside.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's really, I mean, think about it. If Connecticut was how it is right now, year round,
beautiful. It'd be beautiful, except for the rain. But it'd be beautiful.
Rain, man. Oh, man. Can't get away from the rain.
We cannot. But, that brings me to schedules. You know what I'm saying? But before we go to schedules, let's change it up, because we looked at their playoff bracket. What would a playoff bracket look like for us in our system? And I came up with this. You know what I'm saying? And this shows the NFL style, where you take the top teams from each division, and then you have basically wild card teams that make it in, and then you have kind of a playoff. We don't really have the wild card play to get in. I didn't add the extra games for that. I'm not sure if it could work with the system. I think I'm looking at already having like 16 games, maybe 12 games, depending on what everybody could agree on. Most of the semi-pro leagues are only playing at max 10 games. So if we were to extend it, that would be a long season. I'm not sure if everybody would want to play an extra playoff game on top of that. But this is what I came up with based off the conferences that we just looked at. And I already see some crazy matchups. You know what I'm saying? So like the Bengals versus the Northeast Panthers, they look close in relation to like ranking, but I'm not sure if that game is as close as it looks if the Bengals are at full strength. But then somebody brought up a good point. A lot of the Bengals players also play for the Seminoles. A lot of the Bengals players also play for other teams. You know what I'm saying? So what happens when a player has to choose? You know what I'm saying? And last night I was on a Bleezy show with a few players that are Bengals players, but are also Seminoles. You know what I'm saying? They call them the free agent guys. I think that's a good conversation. What do you think about that?
No, I think it's. I mean, I think with the games being, if we were going to extend the games beyond, you might have to think about, combining spring and summer.
Definitely.
And I eliminate these guys from playing in multiple teams, and that's an unfortunate thing for some guys. I mean, some guys might appreciate that, but I think that would eliminate
Sorry, Dave.
teams where like a team. All right, and I'm not saying like teams that we played this year. Like I don't know what teams have who and who have, like, you guys know that more than I do, but like I'm talking with you, me and you about who we're playing and all that stuff. You'll say, oh well, hey, like this guy's not going to be here because he plays for the Seminoles, or this guy's not going to be here because he plays for the Bangers, or he plays for another team. That's not, or he might that player might say, it's a 16-week season now. I'm committed to one team. What team is going to give me the best opportunity to play all the time?
Right.
That team. So there could be some of these teams that are powerhouses that know that they're going to lose due to other conferences that now are going to have a full strength, or they might lose because they know that some guys are not going to get as much playing time, and they're going to go to a team where they will get the full playing time.
Yeah, I think, we were having a conversation last night on the Bleezy show, and honestly, I think what's going to happen is a lot of these powerhouse teams are going to lose the depth that they have.
I agree with what Todd just said, because as a Viper, I ain't going to lie, as a Vipers owner,
yeah,
I understood you guys played for the Falcons and the Vipers. Man, those 2 games where you guys took off last year,
big difference.
Guys left. I was like, all right, it's like,
yeah.
But continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, I mean, guys would have to choose. They would have to choose what team needs them more. And a lot of these bigger teams would lose their depth, and they might even lose the ability to be the top team every single year, because it's going to make it more difficult for them to recruit. Right now, you got some of these top teams hoarding the talent, and they've got guys waiting to play. This guy is about to retire, so we bring in this young guy, and then we got a guy a little older than him that can kind of work this guy up to speed. If you lose that guy in the middle to another team, that guy might also pull that young guy with him, and it might make it harder to recruit. Especially, I think of teams like the Knowles, they might lose a lot of guys that go other places. I think of teams like the Shamrocks, they might lose a lot of guys in other places, because now it's competitive. Now, to get a good game, I don't have to go play for the Knowles. To play on a great team and a great organization and a great system, I don't have to play on the Knowles. You'll find things start to change very quickly, I think. But I also thought about it from a different viewpoint, and I said, well, this is pretty cool. You got the game like the Long Island Eagles versus the Unit. The Unit is 7th, but they're more like top 5. You know what I'm saying? That's a crazy game, week 1. You know what I'm saying? All right, hold on. Quick break, quick pause.
Okay.
We finally got the new member of the cast. We've been waiting like 2 weeks to introduce this dude. Listen, I've been playing with him for 2 years now. He's an absolute animal. He played at WestCon. I think as far as his talent level, he could have played anywhere in the country. A dude that comes from, a tough background, you know what I'm saying? He does what he needs to do on the field. He's an upstanding guy. Like, he's at every single practice. He's a motivator. He's a leader. You know what I'm saying? He's a young dude. I've even gotten a chance to coach him. You know, for the JUCO, he's working to get himself back together. He's going to school. Like, just one of those guys that I'm really proud to be a part of a program with him. And he said, "Listen, I want to be a part of the show." So we're gonna bring him on. Want to introduce Malik Williamson, man. He plays corner, he plays safety, he's a DB, he's an athlete. He plays running back, he can catch.
Come on. Come on, man. Come on.
Yo.
What up, gang?
What's good? What's good, my guy? I'm glad to have you on.
Oh, wow, I can't.
Yeah,
Big
we lost.
Mike. So I just want a quick introduction. Morris, I really want to, say thank you for that excellent intro.
You ready, bro?
To add on to that, alumni of Hamden High,
Sir.
captain over there. 2-year player, as Morris said, for the Falcons. I'm a captain this year. Looking to, pursue some professional opportunities after the season concludes. So, getting that film together, playing Falcons football is very important. But I'm just, glad to be a part of something great right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But Lee, we got to keep it going. Both of us are trying to get off of here probably in the next 30 minutes. So let's get back to the show real quick. That's some crazy games here. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Philadelphia Kings, they're a really good team, going up against the Owls, who I think is, like, to me, that's my dark. But then I said, what if we went with, instead of the divisions, the best divisions with the wildcard teams, what if we went with the best overall team? So also came up with another one. So quick little switch here. Let me drop the branding real quick so you can see that in the corner. All right. So in this bracket, now you got the Falcons on the other side. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles are the top team on the north side, right? And I guess the conference is really what matter at this point. But Eagles and Knowles would get a bye, and now the Hitmen have the herd. Falcons versus Tide, which is funny because Kareem came out with a list of teams that he thought should play in the offseason this year, and the Falcons Tide was one of the games up there. You got the Unit versus the Cardinals. This looks a little different. I think probably the best system to go with. I personally like, for semi-pro, as much as I like the NFL structure with the whole top divisions and stuff like that, for the playoffs, I think it would be more interesting if we went with the best 14 teams.
For sure.
Which I think.
I think that's probably the best that they could do as well. But did you balance it out as far as adding the best teams from each conference, or did you just use the best teams overall out of all the leagues combined?
Yeah, so the first one, let's go back to it real quick. So the first bracket I did, this one right here, the Eagles is number 2 on the American Conference side. This is the best teams from each conference. And then you only get 4 teams. So then you also get 4 wildcard teams. And that's exactly how the NFL does it right now. You know what I'm saying? But the NFL, I believe, also has a play-in. They used to have a play-in game. They don't have that anymore. They changed that recently. And I did that for both sides. And then I said, all right, well, what if we did it the other way? What if we just took the top 14 teams, regardless of conference, regardless of division, and did it this way? Kind of like how Big Mike was saying, one division in the NFL might get 3 teams in the playoffs. How can we also make sure that happens here, where we have the best possible games in the playoffs instead of having a team that probably shouldn't make it in? So, note on that, before we go any further, the Warhawks made it in. They made it into the playoffs, even though they're not one of the top teams. Just because of their division, they would have been one of the top teams in their division, in my opinion, projecting out. They're in the same division as let me go back to it real quick. They're in the same division. Here we go. We're seeing right there with the Cardinals. The Cardinals, the Warhawks, the Chargers, and the Badgers. So just by being in that division, but also being in the national conference, they would be one of the wild card teams. You know what I'm saying? They would make it in.
Jeez.
Yeah. So then I was like, damn, so hold on. The Warhawks would make it in, but who would be at home? Crazy enough. So I did it again. You see the herd mixing in now.
Mm.
So the herd would be sitting at home while the Warhawks are playing. I didn't really know if I liked that so much. Because if you go back to that again, me and Mike was talking about this. You got that one conference down in the bottom left with the Cumberland County Cobras. They're number 5. The New Jersey unit is number 10. The herd is 14, and the Jackals 18. That's a tough division. You know what
Facts.
I'm saying? So out of that division, you probably gonna lose somebody all the time. You know what I'm saying? So hold on, what's Dave Patterson talking? Last year the Gators were invited to the Jersey Bowl and Nationals. That's to go against Baltimore, then Kentucky, then Indiana. Oh my gosh. Baltimore, Kentucky, and Indiana just to get to a national. Damn, they put them through the ringer. Yeah, we trying to see if we could avoid that by always having the best possible team. So that's when I came up with this one. And that's why I was asking y'all opinion. Like, what do you think? What do you think is the better way? Because some people will like the fact that a team like the Warhawks would get in, because a team like the Warhawks could get in as the bottom seed and actually go all the way.
Yeah,
They actually could make it to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Or you could go with the system of just trying to have the best possible talent on the field as much as possible. I personally think for marketability, for our level of play, we need to go with the best possible team. You know what I'm saying? Like the NFL, that's cool. Like, oh, the Giants went 9-8 and then won the Super Bowl. That's crazy. But for our level, it would actually hurt us. They would be like, damn, so a team that wasn't really that good actually won. So how good is the whole system? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I was thinking about. What y'all think about that?
I agree with that only because, and we look at the NFL as the pinnacle. So a team like the Giants, uh, can do that, and we all know those guys are NFL players. Our league team comes out of gel, and they might be talented.
Yeah, hold on, Lee. I'm a mute you because the interference is cutting Mike off. So when Mike is done talking, I'll bring you back on. Go ahead, Mike. Say that again for me.
No, I was saying that, I agree with you that, as the NFL, like a team like the Giants can do that, and we all know those are NFL players. So, we're not going to look at that and be like, I can't believe the Giants, won the Super Bowl. They beat the Patriots, because it's like those are still top 1% guys playing football. Where, circumstances might change for teams. Guys can start to gel. Dudes can start actually showing up to practice. That team can start getting better. And like you said, you know, they make a run in the playoffs, and then people are going to be like, well, how good is this whole division? This team was, 4-6, got into the playoffs somehow, and now won the championship.
Right.
You want to
So, League, Todd brings up a good point, and we say it all the time. Any given Saturday, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we lost League. We'll get him back. Mike, you can answer this then until we get League back. Any given Saturday, right? So if you go with any given Saturday, I mean, as players, we know that, right? But as the general public, you got to remember we're not a part of the top 1%. You get what I'm saying? All right, we got League back. Let's let League answer the question. So League, we not part of the top 1%. You know what I'm saying? We know that it's any given Saturday. You know what I'm saying? We say it all the time. But for the general public, do you think the everyday fan will look at it that way? Like, you got a girlfriend that comes to every game just like I do. You know what I'm saying? I know if my girl came to the game and we lost to a pretty bad team, it's not necessarily, oh, that team was, it's any given Saturday. That team could win and they just had a good game. It's like, damn, how'd y'all lose to them? What you think about that?
That is exactly how it is. But I also think that kind of like, I don't know, there's something more exciting about that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, me
like
too.
for example, great example, right? It's no shade either. Last year when we went up to New York and we played the Green Wave, we went up there, kind of expecting to win. Not even gonna lie, like not even kind of expecting to win, for sure expecting to win. We saw their sideline. They didn't have that many players. They don't look that big. They're not intimidating physically, like, you know what I'm saying? And we went out there and we lost to them. This year, they came here. You know what I'm saying? They didn't look as physically imposing as us. They didn't look as far as the numbers go, as many as us, they weren't as organized as us, but they came and they beat us. So I feel like having teams that aren't as what is the word I'm looking for? They're not like as recognized as one of those top teams. Have given them the opportunity to play the top teams. I feel like that's good for the league.
So we split on that decision, you know what I'm saying? I think when we was talking about the whole player union thing and having to come to the meeting table, all of us, and having certain people that we nominate as representatives, I think this is one of those situations where it would help big time, you know what I'm saying? Because I think we would definitely have to, and it might not even be forever. Like one year we might go with the divisions, and one year we might have to go with the best, make it in and see what works best. You know what I'm saying? All right, but let's go to the next topic real quick. We're gonna go to schedules. All right. So I quickly just stuffed together what I thought was the best possible schedules where, I split it with away and home. And I took some teams that was in the division. I also took some teams in the conference, and I took some teams that was also out of conference, and I kind of split it up. So the system that I came up with was 6 divisional games. You got 3 divisional opponents. You're going to play them twice. After that 6 games, you got to play 4 games in your conference and 4 games out of your conference. You know what I'm saying? And then, we went with the Brooklyn Seminoles and the CT Falcons first. And then I also went with, we'll just quickly take a look at it, Central Penn Hitmen and the Cardinals. I tried to grab a team from each region. So I tried to grab a team from like that Northern Connecticut region, from that lower New York region, a team from that Pennsylvania region, and then a team from like that Boston, Mass area. So I'm gonna talk about the nose. Big Mike, I want you to talk about the Falcons, and then Leap. Let's have you talk about the Cardinals, and I'll kind of come back to the Hitmen. All right, we're gonna do it that way. So starting off with the nose, they got a game against the Militia. They got to play the Ducks, and they got to play the Kings. And we see this happen all the time. The best teams always get to pick, how they want their schedule to go. So I gave them 3 home games out the gate. They get to be nice and comfy to start the season. They get a game against a pretty low-seeded opponent, with the Militia being like 26th overall or something. Then they get the Ducks, a team that they would beat up on pretty badly, as good as the Ducks are. And then they get a kind of challenging game with the Kings in division. Then they got the Owls. So we're not going to go through the whole thing, but I said they would go 16-0. I don't think there's a team that could beat them in our region right now. They're a really put together team. But I just think it's really cool to see the Nose go up against a team like, the Wolf Pack, to see him go up against the Bangers, to see him go up against, the Philly Kings, and then they got to play the Jackals like they play now. But to see him get to go up against the Green Wave and things like that. And for a team like the Nose, they struggle to find leagues that will accept them, because a lot of teams don't want to play them every year. They struggle to stay in leagues. They just need like league security, a great organization that survives the test of time. But oftentimes their team is better than the leagues they're a part of. So I think having a schedule like this where, all right, we got the Nose this week, we got to just get through it. A lot of teams, because they have so many more games, they'd be more willing to play the Nose, even if they know they're going to get beat up pretty bad. I think also for the Nose, it would be great for them. We talked about it, for those dynasties kind of developing talent. Some of these games, they don't got to play their starters at all. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these games, they can put out their youngest guys and be like, listen, this is your time to earn a spot. You know what I'm saying? This is that type of team where this is your time to earn a spot. And as the Falcons, we got some guys too. We got some young guys that are thirsty to get the ball, you know what I'm saying, and really want to show that they got what it takes. Some of these games on this schedule would be one of those games where they would get an opportunity. I think that is one of the things that stands out for me looking at the schedule, is that's great, because a lot of these guys are sitting on the sideline and they'll actually get an opportunity. But Big Mike, talk to me a little bit about the Falcons schedule and what you see and what you like and what you think about it and all that.
I mean, I'm gonna be pissed if this happens after I retire. Just because I'm looking at the schedule, you got the Patriots, us playing the Patriots 1, which, I mean, I've obviously only played them once. I'm about to play them twice. But that game was tough, so I'm sure this game would be another tough one. As far as the other teams, I don't know too much about them. But question: did the Northmen did they actually fold?
I have not confirmed that. I couldn't tell you if they actually folded or not. But I did throw them in there for us. They are an independent team, but they're relatively in our region. So,
I'm,
for independent teams, same thing with like the Lightning. If the Lightning was around, I didn't want to put us against the Lightning, but Larry Garcia confirmed. Yes, they did officially fold. Okay.
thank you, Larry. I
Yeah,
mean,
they lost to the Chargers recently, so I guess they folded.
like I like that. I mean, I think it'd be cool to have us play all those teams. I would love to play the Bangers and the Panthers, and I've already Warhawks, and you already know the Green Wave was the reason I joined the Falcons this year.
Bro, that first like 6 weeks for us would be crazy because the
Yeah,
Patriots are no longer in our league. Technically, they're in a different league, they're in a different conference. So that's a true rivalry game. They are on the other side. We're in the North Conference, and they're in the National Conference, and they're in the American Conference. You know what I'm saying? So that's a true rivalry game. Same thing with the Green Wave. They're in the same division as the Patriots. So we got two rivals in a totally different conference that's on our schedule to start and end the season. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But then the Bangers, we got the best of them last year in a preseason game. They licking their chops to get another opportunity to play us. Unfortunately, the schedules didn't match this year. But I think that's a game we could probably see on the schedule every year.
You know,
And this system, they would be in our division. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool. But then you got the unit. You get a little bit of a break with the Bruins, but then you got the Panthers, Warhawks, Hitmen. That's a tough schedule. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah. I mean, I
That's
know the
for our
Warhawks.
season.
Wait, hold on, say that again, Malik.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm with Maz and Wayne. We
Well,
was
hello,
just
guys.
we was just
Yo,
saying how that Green Wave loss was
it
something
killed us.
something else, bro. What was my job? I'm going over the Cardinal schedule.
Yeah, but hold on. Let's let Mike wrap it up with
Oh,
the
I'm
Falcons.
sorry.
I was just saying, that Green Wave games what got me to play with you guys this year.
Facts.
So,
Facts.
thank you, Green Wave.
What do you think about the record? You think 13-3 is fair?
I think that's fair. I mean, I'd even say because I don't know which teams you would think we would lose to.
Hitman, the unit, and we could possibly drop one to. We got to see the Bengals twice, so I'm thinking we could possibly drop one to the Bengals twice.
Right.
If we did get the best of the Bengals twice, we might drop one to the Green Wave. We known to do that. I think playing them later in the year is tough, but starting out with the Patriots, that's a tough one. We could drop that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know how good the Black Panthers are. We're gonna see how good they are against the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? But depending on how good they are against the Cardinals, definitely could probably lose one there. And probabilities, right? You out of the games that you might lose, you're gonna win half of them. You're gonna lose half of them.
No, I agree.
So I said 13-3 probability wise. We got a good chance to go through.
I think that's relatively fair.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so let's skip over and let's look at the Cardinals real quick. So Malik, you up, man? Looking at the
All right.
Cardinals schedule, I said
So
11-5, and I said
yeah.
this. I said this because they really struggled last year with the Warhawks.
Mhm.
This year they completely destroyed the Warhawks, but we got to them first. I'm not really sure if they was in a tougher league for longer, how good they would be because you got to remember where a lot of their talent comes from. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those guys kind of just come and show up. They don't necessarily take the Cardinals as serious. So I'm not sure if that roster would look the same if they had to play through the spring into the summer. So that's why I put them at 11-5. But honestly, 11-5 is still really good to get them in the playoffs. But just looking at their schedule, what do you think?
Well, looking at their schedule, it's looking like 11-5 might be a little generous. I mean, considering we haven't seen them play against the Panthers this year, so I feel like that's going to be a true testament. I feel like this year their game against the Warhawks doesn't really have an asterisk next to it, but it seemed like that was a different Warhawks team than they battled last year.
Yeah.
So the Bangers in them, I feel like that's going to be a great game, but I can see the Bangers. I can see the Bangers. I don't know. I see the Bangers pulling that one out. Because the Bengals just seem to be more battle tested. They play, more competition, more consistently rather than having, a cupcake walkthrough schedule as the Cardinals did this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking a real 9-7 sounds about right for the East Coast Cardinals. Looking at this schedule, this is a tough row right there.
Yeah, they gotta play the Warhawks twice. They got the
I
Central
would
Penn.
love to see them play the Patriots. That's a great game.
Right? Right? That's a great game because last year when the Patriots went to them, remember they went to them, open and kickoff, the Patriots housed it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a good game. That was a shootout. Then they got the Seminoles, you know what I'm saying?
What was the score of their game against the Patriots last year?
The Cardinals won by 6, I think it was. I think it was 24-18, if I'm not
Wow.
mistaken. Yeah, it was a good ass game.
I gotta go see that one. I didn't even know about it.
And the Patriots are getting better every year. I think the unit would be a great game. Cardinals versus unit would definitely test them. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, you know, are they good? People don't realize how good the unit really is. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. But for me, I was like, damn, do they survive the Green Wave or do they take them too late? You know what I'm saying? Because when you see the Green Wave walk in with the 18 dudes, you be like, they finna.
Seriously. Nah, for sure. But honestly, I really do see the Green Wave giving them a lot of trouble because athlete for athlete, you know, Green Wave might have the one up on the Cardinals. But if you go player for player, then obviously the Cardinals are just going to be outnumbering the Green Wave. And so depth might come into play later in the game.
Right.
But, you know, it just depends because, you know, as we saw, Green Wave got some playmakers that could potentially take over a game. Like,
Facts.
but
And I'm
the Cardinals do too. So it'll just be who shows up that day.
I'm gonna wrap it up with the Central Penn Hitmen. You know. Oh wait. Before we go there, you know, Cardinals playing the Black Panthers tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get a chance to actually see, you know, the Cardinals up against another team that's well put together. They both undefeated 4-0. So that'll answer a lot of questions too. You know what I'm saying? That opinion of 11-5 and 9-7 might change if they really beat up on them tomorrow, having them in the conference and division. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up with Central Penn Hitmen. We lost sleep, but we'll definitely get them back. You know, they got the Soldiers, they got the Knights, they got the Philly Canes, they got the Syracuse Smash. Those are all conference games. The Knights, the Soldiers, the Smash are all in their division. So they start out with, they have the only schedule that I did like division game back to back. That's actually really tough to do. To play a team back to back week after week is extremely hard to do, to beat them, because you're either going to show them half of what you got so that they don't see it next week, or you're going to show them what you got and then they're going to be ready for it next week. You know what I'm saying? And even a team that's less talented to you can play with you if you do that. So that's a pretty tough thing. But, you know, the Hitmen probably drop a game to the Eagles. They might drop a game to the Falcons. They might drop a game to the Warhawks if it's a bad day, if they're trying to manage their talent, if they're trying to get some young guys some experience and one of those other teams takes it serious. The Tide, you know what I'm saying? The Philly Kings. Those are games where they could drop one. They might drop it on purpose. They might say, you know what, just to make sure that guys get healthy and they ready for the playoffs, we'll go ahead and, you know, whatever happens, happens. If the young guys can beat them, they can beat them. If they can't, they can't. You know what I'm saying? Being smart about it. I said that if they take it serious every single game, the Hitmen probably go undefeated in their schedule. I know my Falcons is up there, and I'm always going to say that any game that we play, we could win. But just being realistic and being impartial, if the Hitmen take it serious, they got a good chance to go undefeated with the schedule. I put the Lightning up here. You know, they was an independent team. I just wanted to get some love for an independent team, but you know, I think they could go undefeated and they could be one of the top teams. So the last thing I kind of just want to talk about is when you look at teams in this kind of system and you look at these types of schedules, I think a lot of these teams that aren't that good get a lot better. You know what I'm saying? I think when players see the schedules and when players see the league, and they look at some of these teams, and you got to think that for a team to be a part of this league and a team to have this type of schedule, the league itself is going to force you as an organization to step up and do things better, do things differently. You know, they want to sell tickets, they want fans in the crowd, they need competitive games, they need teams not folding. So once players see this, a lot of these teams that nobody wants to play for, guys are going to start to come out and play for them. You're going to see a lot less double duty. So you'll see a shift in talent and things like that. So I think overall it's great for the system. Mike, you got anything you want to add to that?
I agree with you on that. I mean, I said that from the beginning. I think a lot of people will come out more to a system like that. Just the playing time. Guys are going to come out from colleges. Guys are going to come out from high schools, colleges, and see the bracket itself might be something that they might just like look familiar. Because anything, and this is not to make this longer than it is, but the other thing too with semi-pro football players, minor league football players too, is in a way we all want to mimic the NFL lifestyle. So, even when I was playing when I was younger and we were all still trying to make it, some of us we were trying to make it to where? We were trying to make it to the NFL. Right. So we mirrored a lot of that. So I think a structure that is similar to the NFL will benefit a lot of these players too.
Definitely. All right, let's move on to the next topic, the ins and outs. You know what I'm saying? We chopped it up. Now let's talk about it. IFA championship game, CT Falcons versus the Patriots. We got a big game coming up. You know what I'm saying? We playing at home. 3 p.m. kickoff. Unfortunately, it's still looking like it's going to rain.
Yep.
Check that right now.
No, it's like 70%.
That sucks. Mine is saying 90%. I don't know what the timing is for that. It says rain starts at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And it carries on all the way to 5. So we're probably going to be playing in the rain. Unfortunately.
But though, you never know. It might tail out at the end because we're not playing right next to, the Hudson River. So that might be good.
It sure might.
Larry says, call me in.
I know, but Larry, we about to get off. We got like 10 minutes. We're not going to talk about it for too much longer. But next week, we definitely call you in. We definitely want to recap this game. Got to give the big guys some love with the flyer. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I like that.
Listen, this is what I'm gonna say. I was forced into a bet last night that I gotta perform.
But what would you
perform? It's gonna be a head-to-head. Those guys are talking really, hot. But listen, they putting in a lot of work, a lot of time preparing for us. We got the best of them 3 times in a row, so it's a lot on the line here for them. There's a lot on the line for us. We made it to the chip last year, and we came short. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I don't think anybody is not taking this game as serious as possible. And there's a lot of people that won't be coming back to the team next year. So this is the farewell, you know what I'm saying, for a lot of the players. So it's just going to be one of those heated games. I don't really care that it's going to rain. A lot of times I'm like, it's going to rain. The honest truth is we might lose some fans, which sucks, but I don't care. I'm coming out hot. You know what I'm saying? We ready for this. And that's mimicked on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's ready to play.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Huh?
What do you think?
I'm ready to play this game. I'm ready, but I'm not ready, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm ready to play it. I'm ready to play it, but I know what's in it for me. So for me, it's I know my last game. So
yeah.
For me being that I am one of those players that's calling it quits or hanging it up, whatever you want to call it. And it's funny too, because I didn't think I was gonna be this bothered after all the years I've played, but it's because now I have so many guys that now the last 2 years of me being back, I have so many people now that are like, man, I wanted to play with you. Oh man, wait till I come back next year. And it's my body can't take it, man. My body is beat up. I'm pretty sure tomorrow I'm gonna be hurt. I'm sure you're gonna have to tug on my shoulder at some point.
Or push you. I might throw you into somebody.
I'm down for that. We all know whoever played me the last 2 years knows what I've been going through. And there's no doubt that I'm gonna give everything I have to this last game. So, Patriots, the linemen, hey man, get ready. Get ready. I'm expecting a big battle against those guys. So, I'm the one that doesn't speak on the field, 62. So I'm offensive that doesn't say a word, but let's bring it. Let's get this championship win, man. I'm trying to, like me and you talked the other day, and I said I started my semi-pro career with the Connecticut Giants for the championship, and I like to end my semi-pro career leaving with a championship.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. But I personally don't even care. Like, I'm not trying to say I don't care that I don't want to win the championship, but having a lot of you guys on the team last year, on the Vipers, and watching yourself, Coach Matt, and Nooney, Miami, all those guys, Dudley, all you guys come back, and I know there's more guys that I didn't mention, but watching that pain of you guys not winning that championship game, and then going through our season with the Vipers, and then even losing to the Hitmen, and then you guys had another chance to go to the Nationals, and you didn't win that one either.
Yeah.
Like, just watching you guys go through that pain, and then coming to the team week 1 with the Warhawks, and then beating the Warhawks with you guys, and seeing how happy you guys were, the guys that I know particularly, and then the team itself, and just seeing how like that's why we play football. That's the reason we play football. That's just to sit in that room and watch everybody look like we were back in high school.
Facts. That's how it felt.
Yeah, it was like, all right, this is why we're here. Let's do this. So yeah, to tomorrow, I'm not expecting this game by any means to be out of reach. I think it will be a close game, but I'm just hoping we on the winning side of that one again.
Yeah, man. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, we really built something. We started off in the TFL and we had a tough year. I was hurt for most of that year with a torn hammy. When we came back, we started to kind of hit stride and we had found something, but we lost in the playoffs to the Bengals. Made a decision, executive decision. I even moved the team to New England, where most of the guys felt more comfortable playing and traveling, and we were more consistent and built the program up. And we were really confident. It grew really quickly. And to lose at the end like that after having a great year, it really hurt and it motivated us. So to be in this moment against a team that we played so much that we had to go through to get to the championship, it's just a lot on the line. They've gotten a lot better. It's going to be a head-to-head clash, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to be a good one. And last thing, I know you hit the nail on the head.
Well, what's your bet? I didn't hear it.
The bet is that I got to get more rushing yards than Ramsey.
And what's the outcome?
$50.
Oh, okay. I thought one of y'all were gonna have to shave your head or something.
Nah, we should have did that, but me and Rams got a lot of respect for each other. This is an outside bet, like Knowles players and Bengals players. All right, you hit the nail on the head already. You kind of talked about it, but we're gonna talk about one of the greatest players I ever played with retiring, and that, sir, is you.
All right.
There's a lot of other players retiring. I think Oso is retiring as well. I think Mel might be retiring. So it's a big shout out to you guys. We're gonna get a chance to, chop it up with you guys tomorrow and send you guys all off, the way that you guys should be sent off. I think Big Garrett, he's also gonna be retiring too. I'm not confident about that, but I know a lot of guys are wrapping it up after this year. I know Atterbury is another guy that said, I think he said he's done playing in the spring. I think he said he might be done playing padded football period. I think he's going to flag full time. But just wanted to kind of talk to you and give you your flowers because you're one of my guys, you know what I'm saying? And like a lot of people said, it was a pleasure playing with you. I wish I got more time to spend with you. I wish I played with you when you was a lot younger. You know what I'm saying? Just a guy, like the first time I met you, we were in a bar for the Vipers, and I kept hearing, yeah, we got this ex-NFL guy, we got this ex-NFL, and he's a co-owner, and I finally met you, and I talked to you for like 10 seconds, and I was like, yeah, he's a real deal. You know what I'm saying? He's a football guy.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, we hit it off ever since because, we've been through the same pain, and we know what it takes, and we work really hard, and we got a drive and passion for the game of football, and, we take it a step further, like we were talking at 5:00 in the morning the other night, texting each other about, a film, like, oh, I saw this and oh, I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna go watch this. And, everybody doesn't share in that. So I just wanted to say, for all the people that don't know, that see this guy right here is one of the best that's ever done it. He's going all the way. Unfortunately, the Giants were stupid and they didn't take him. because the NFL looked different. But if he was, 20 years younger, this man would be in the NFL today. I could honestly say that factually.
3 years. I confidently could say if I was born in 1992, or whatever
That's
year.
when I was born. Yeah, he was my age.
If I was born in 1992 or even 1997, I'm a little old on that end. Yeah, the way that I played when I was younger, a lot of guys only know me to be an offensive lineman. So especially now, but no one really realizes that my actual position is D tackle.
Yep.
And I was a small, short D tackle. And I'm not going to sit there and compare myself to Aaron Donald, but he clearly is the fuck better. But I'm saying my play was similar in the aspects of a shorter, stockier, relied on my power and my speed. And as I got older, my stomach grew with me, and as I climbed the ranks into semi-pro football, and you know how it is. There's a lot of guys on defensive line that are, I'm a defensive lineman only. I'm a defensive lineman only. Well, offensive lineman gets hurt, and I'm a team player. I'm a team player first before I'm anything else. So, as soon as I saw, one of our tackles went down or one of our guards went down, and I'm like, all right, well, I know how to play offense, so I'll go over to the offense. And that happened enough times to where I got good at offensive line. And then when I played arena football, as some people may know, on arena football, you start at D tackle, and then as soon as you go to offense, you either become the center or you become the guards.
Right.
You just flip flop. So you learn how to play both sides. So yeah, once you met me, I was already fully pretty much a lineman on offense and minimal defensive play, but it panned out. It panned out. I feel like, maybe tomorrow I get one more rep at D-line. That'd be great, Ivan, if you're watching this. But I would want it to be a situational one. I don't want to be 1st and 10. I want to be 3rd and 8. But I also know that I'm not going to sit there and jeopardize anything as far as, like, if this is a tight game, I'm not going to be selfish, like, hey, get me in there. Like, no. You get the guys that are right now leading that team on for it. But yeah, no, man, I'm excited. As you know, I'm going to be coaching with you.
Yeah.
So, and I'm excited for that. And then, I'm sure I'm going to be doing the training, and I started my own company with the training for the linemen and all that. But I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it, man. You were a hell of a pleasure to have run behind me.
Yes, definitely.
And Larry, Larry knows, man. I don't think I've let a sack yet. I don't think I've let anyone touch him yet.
Nah.
Close. I ain't gonna sit there and say
2 years.
There's been moments where it's been close. I know that, but knock on wood. Tomorrow, I don't let up my first fucking sack.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I'm excited. My family's all going to be there. I got about 50 people coming to the game tomorrow.
Well, listen, man, we all love you and we all appreciate you. And I know for a fact that this is not the end of your impact on football, especially at our level. We talked about the combine and things like that and training. I could definitely see you getting back together with some of these Giants guys and reviving, a team like that. I could definitely see you impacting the game. And then you got a son who also plays football. So, depending on what happens in his career, I know that you'll be there every step of the way. And we never know where Big Mike might end up next. So you never know. So
we pass that torch tomorrow to
Brandon. Definitely. We appreciate you. We love you, man.
Brandon will be getting that torch tomorrow. I appreciate it too, man. I love you as well. But tomorrow, Brady's getting that torch. I'm passing it off to him, and hopefully he can do better than I did.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm gonna do my best to send you out with a ring. So
my best to make sure you do your thing.
If you haven't already, go to YouTube, check out the Black Room. We did an interview with Matt Wells. Mike was able to jump on for a few. He's a head coach in arena right now. He's played in arena for years. He's has some minor league experience, and he has a vision right now to bring pro football, to our level. Really interesting conversation. He answered a lot of questions. It was an awesome interview, probably my favorite interview I've done. Other than when I interviewed Jeff Mack and DJ James. So definitely go check that out. We're going to be doing that not this week coming up, but we'll be doing another interview in 2 weeks. And I'm looking to get Mr. Harmon on for that one before the start of the ECFL. So definitely tune in for that. That's going to be a funny one. It's going to be a good one. People are going to come at him and he's going to defend himself. But Mr. Harmon is a professional, so he normally doesn't let me trap him into any funny questions. But we're going to do our best to really, beat him up a little bit. But definitely check out the Black Room. And listen, like we told you, it was going to be quick today. Me and Mike both got to get ready for tomorrow. So I got to run out of here. But listen, I appreciate everybody that came out tonight, watched the show. Appreciate everybody that checks us out on YouTube. Definitely like and subscribe. This is way bigger than us. We're trying to prove that the concept works. So support this as much as possible, because honestly, this is all about semi-pro football players as a whole. There's a lot of guys out here like Big Mike, a lot of guys out there like Larry Garcia and Christian Ramsey and Malik Williamson and myself that, we put a lot into this. We got a lot of talent. We play good football, and we're trying to build this thing up. So we appreciate everybody for coming out. It's goodbye to the football Big Mike, but it's not goodbye to Big Mike. We're going to get a lot of him for the rest of the year. He should have more time. So thanks everybody for coming out, and we'll meet you at the 50. All right, take care, guys.